Hello there, and you're very welcome to another episode of the Arkham Avengers FFPL podcast. You join me, the host, along with Eamon, Hector, and Captain Fantastical Mick, where we take a look to see how the managers in this league are getting on for the season. However, we'll also be talking about much more. So kick back, stay tuned, and enjoy. Hello there, and we certainly hope you've all been keeping well since our last show. Gameweek 35 is under the spotlight on this week's episode, and with me today are Eamon, Hector, and Captain Fantastical Mick is back. Eamon, I'll start with you first. Well, how are you keeping?
Thank you. I'm very good, and I'm enjoying this fine spell of sunshine. It's lovely to see the sun out and to be able to get an opportunity to sit out in the early evenings, relaxing and basking in the glow of the evening sun there. I'm also keeping an eye on the football, but the Premier League and our own fantasy football league, it's getting exciting times now. Although I think in the Premier League, it would be safe to say that Man City look like they're in the driving seat now. Arsenal have slipped up a little bit, but I'm curious to see who's going to pip in third place. Will it be Newcastle to hold off Man U? And will Liverpool overtake Man U and nab that Champions League spot? And I suppose as well as that, we've had the relegation battle is ongoing there. After 11 years in the top flight, Southampton have been relegated. I don't feel too sorry for them, I have to say. I think they've had a good run. I don't think they were particularly in with a chance of staying up this season. It didn't look like they were at the races. Questionable signings, questionable players and that.
Yes, indeed. And there's a fight going on, isn't there? With a number of teams down at the bottom of the Premier League table in order to try and stave off the relegation.
It's not looking very good for Leicester at the moment, I have to say. They will be up against Newcastle and West Ham for their final two matches, and they won't be easy, I have to say. West Ham are doing their best to stay up themselves. They're by no means 100% safe, although I think it would be some sort of abominable set of scorelines that would end up getting them in trouble. I think they're safe enough now. And Newcastle, as I said, they're vying for Champions League football for the first time in many, many years. They're not going to sit back and take it easy. When you come to Leeds then, well, they did earn a point against Newcastle at the weekend. They're facing West Ham and they're facing Spurs. I think though they could be in trouble, although Big Sam Allardyce is going to be trying to get them firing on all cylinders. It was unlucky for the way some of the results have gone for them there. But again, they're not helping themselves.
And what about Everton? Are they safe?
And Everton play Wolves and Bournemouth in their final matches, and I certainly feel a little bit more confidence about them than Leeds and Leicester. They're certainly position-wise, they're ahead of those two guys. They just need to keep ahead of them now, and that's the thing there.
So really, Eamon, you're going with Leicester and Leeds to go down.
Well, yes, at the moment you'd have to say they don't look like they're in a very safe position, and there's a lot of factors going to play here. But these managers, these players, going to have to give 100%. And like giving 100% doesn't necessarily work out for you because you're now depending on other teams to make mistakes.
Hector, hello there. How are you keeping?
Very well, thank you. Like Eamon say, nice to see the sun out.
Indeed, yes. And would you agree with Eamon about Leicester and Leeds looking like the two most likely teams now to go down with Southampton?
I think that the Roy Hodgson, he do good work for Nottingham Forest. If they get a win, they look more comfortable. Their next fixture, though, against Arsenal, will not be an easy match. The Arsenal need to win also. They, along with Leeds and Leicester and Everton, are danger zone.
You think that Nottingham Forest are in the danger zone also?
I do, yes. I think they could be trouble. But as I say, Arsenal will go for win. And if other teams win and Nottingham Forest don't get no points, it will be dicey time.
Interesting. Mick, a very warm welcome back. How have you been keeping?
I'm not doing too bad, thanks. Hi, lads. Hello, listeners. It's great to be back here with you, lads. I've missed the camaraderie, I have to say.
It's nice to have you back, Mick. And, okay, we have the elephant in the room. We won't dwell on it too much, but we do have to talk a little bit about Blackpool. Now, they're relegated. Even though they bet Norwich in their final match of the season, you gave it 100%, Mick, but it just didn't work out.
That's right, it didn't work out, but they were a great bunch of lads, I have to say. Anything I asked of them, they gave it there. And things, as you said, they didn't work out. I'd have loved to have kept them up. That was what my main aim was, to keep them up. It just didn't happen. It just didn't work. And look, I'm sorry to see them go down. I do hope they'll bounce back up, because as I said, they're a great bunch of lads.
Mick, nice to have you here on show, but you know something, Mick? Can I say you always do your best? You know this. I know this. I'm sorry we did not get a chance to go over to see Blackpool when you were over there.
Oh, that's all right. Thanks very much, Hector. I appreciate that. Well, who knows? Maybe we might hit the road for the summer, like a summer trip. I'm like just the four of us.
That is a great idea, Mick. I love that. 4 men on the road, yes.
No, don't go booking anything. I just have to check my diary to see how my schedule is over the summer months.
Eamon, please, don't be like that. Mick have a great idea. Think of all the fun we have. Maybe we could visit places that I give a shout out to. Why you think we could go to different parts of the Europe, and maybe we could go to Brazil. I call down to see my family.
Hold on a second, Hector.
Yeah?
You're just after saying that you didn't get a chance to go over to Blackpool, and now you want to start travelling the globe.
Well, I was just following on from what Mick was saying about us. We're going to be hitting the road and stuff like that.
We're not hitting any road at the moment, so just park your car there for a moment and stall yourself. Eamon, you want to ask something? Yes, I would like to ask Mick. And Mick, it's very nice to have you back on the show. I actually thought you might be getting ready to do a Camino walk, and we mightn't have had you back.
I'm not doing that this year, Eamon. No, I'm not. I'm going to climb Croat Patrick instead.
All right, okay. And my question here, of course, is would you consider a return to management after the debacle of Blackpool?
Well, Eamon, firstly, I don't think it was a debacle.
Well, I'd have to say they got relegated, so it's hardly a success.
Well, I know they got relegated. I don't need you to tell me they got relegated. Everybody tried to do what they had to do, and it was not, we were just trying to do our best.
Yes, and as I said, they got relegated. You had to leave, but that's not the question I was asking here.
Yeah, I know. Look, at the moment, I'm taking a break. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's quite all right, yes.
And I might do a little bit of punditry work. We will see. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't go back into management. I'm not shutting the barn door, okay? Let's see what happens, okay?
That's all I just wanted to check in there. I wasn't attacking you or anything like that now, Mick. You might think I was.
Well, Eamon, you just called it a debacle, so I don't know what to think.
Well, okay, right. I think we'll move on here. And look, Mick, we look forward to your next adventure. Of course, yes, you will be engaging in sport. You love sport.
I do, yes, I do love sport. I like Eamon loves sport. Hector, you love sport, don't you?
Huh? Yeah, I do, yes, very much so.
Moving along swiftly here, it's time now to take a look at the Arkham Avengers Fantasy Football Premier League table. So for Gameweek 35, the highest points were 107, and the average points came in at 39. The table looks like the following. No change in first place. Kane's a keeper, 48 points. Hector, can I start you off here?
They had no transfer. They opted for Haaland as their captain and got 4 points. And when you look at the team, the real hitters were Salah with 10 points, McAllister with 8 points, Mitoma had 5 points, Alexander-Arnold had 7 points, and Robinson had 6 points. On the bench, they had the White with 6 points. I think that the 48 points for this manager, they will not be happy about this. I think that they look a little bit inconsistent over the last few weeks. There is not the big run that we have seen them put together. Could be a little bit of nerves, could be a little bit of pressure. Something not sitting right here. Perhaps maybe the Taiega breathing down their neck is affecting their momentum in their captaincy, their management. Okay, so you think they're under pressure? I think there's something not sitting right at the moment. Okay, well, there's no change in second place either. Taiega at 51 points. Hector, I'm not putting this to you. It's going to Eamon.
That's a relief. I thought you were going back to him for a second run at the cherry here. Yeah, they had that one transfer, and Haaland was the captain, 4 points. Who actually managed to put in the points here? Alexander-Arnold got 7. Salah had 10 points. Mahrez had 10 points. McAllister had 8 points. The one thing about this manager, like 51 points, okay, they had to settle for it because they can't change it, but they're still chipping away at Kane's the keeper's lead. And at the end of game week 35, that lead is now down to 12 points. they are putting competition and pressure on Kane's keeper, and I do think that Hector might have a little bit of leeway to argue it that Kane's keeper is feeling the heat. Of course they're feeling the heat. They're trying to hold first place, and they've got a locomotive, a train, bearing down on them.
Okay, well, that's interesting. No change in third place. Lafayette Lions, 46 points. Mick.
They had one transfer, and they had Salah as the captain. They got 20 points for that. Matoma had 5 points. White had 6 points. And on the bench, the goalkeeper, Ramsdale, was sitting there with 10 points. I think they had a good captain choice, considering Haaland really wasn't on form this week. And they've managed to pull away from fourth place. You know, that they're 10 points ahead of fourth place at the moment. I think they're doing enough to hold on to third.
No change either then in fourth place. Arkham Avengers, 39 points, 1 transfer. Eamon.
They had Haaland as the captain, 4 points. Salah was there with 10 points. Mitoma had 5 points. Alexander-Arnold had 7 points. They hit the average just about. No great shakes here. I think there's been a lot of slippage with this manager. The spoofer looks like they're finding it a little difficult to reel in Lafayette Lions. And I think the spoofer has been on a good run, and they're just going to have to stick it out and stay the course here. And really stay the course here.
No change either then in fifth place. The good, the bad, and the goalie. 37 points. Hector. This manager played their wild card this week, and they opted for Haaland as the captain. He got 4 points. Matoma had 5 points. Salah had the 10 points, and Alexander-Arnold had 7 points. Having played the wild card, this manager will not be very happy with this result. But the one thing I take from this is that they are setting themselves up for Gameweek 36. I think that playing the wild card in this week could be like a pincer move that they're going to work on now and take third place. All right, so you're saying that they're thinking ahead. They're not really too concerned about this game week. It's the game weeks that's coming up that they're at. Yes, I think that they are looking forward. It's like looking into crystal ball and they say, yeah, they what I want to do.
For God's sakes, what are you on about, a crystal ball?
I use it as an example. I could only say you want to look into a mug of tea or coffee and say, yeah, what I'm going to do.
Now you're going to have them looking at crystal balls. Seriously.
Okay, lads, can we just relax a little bit here?
I am relaxed. Very relaxed. But this is just codology.
Let's get back on track here. No change in sixth place. Best season ever. 46 points. Mick.
Well, there are no transfers this game week, and they had Haaland as the captain for 4 points. Kane got 8 points. Odegaard got 10 points. Matoma got 5 points. And Alexander-Arnold got 7 points. One thing about this manager that's impressing me is that little by little over the last couple of weeks, this manager has managed to drag his team. He's within touch and distance of 5th place. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a top 5 finish with this manager.
No change either then in 7th place. Raglan Road, 49 points. Eamon.
They had one transfer this week. They opted for Kane as a captain, got 16 points. Odegaard was there with 10 points. Martinelli had 6. White had 6 points as well. Good captain choice this week. Went against the grain. Didn't go for the like of the Haaland. Very good. They're thinking outside of the box here. And it'll be nice to see if this manager can finish with higher points than they had from last season. They just need to keep applying now. Don't let up. Keep going. Like, they're not moving anywhere. But it will be just nice to see if they could best their total tally points from last season.
No change then either in 8th place. Blytham squad, 58 points, Hector. They had the one transfer. They opted for Salah as the captain this week, and they got 20 points. Odegaard was there with 10 points. Van Dijk had 11 points, and Alisson had the 5 points. And on the bench, they had the Gabriel sitting there with 7 points. Would have been very nice to have those few points. A good captain choice, I have to say. A nice result. And nice to see Blytham finishing on a high. They're starting to get the points in a little bit late in the season, but hopefully they can carry this momentum into the next season. No change either then in 9th place with Max Manefford, 34 points. Eamon.
The 2 transfers this game week, and they opted for Haaland as their captain and got 4 points. Odegaard got 10 points. Martinelli got 6 points. Dunk was there with a -1. Won't help their cause. There's not a lot to say here. And let's be honest about it. This manager looks like they're knackered. They look like they're all spent after a season of pretty much doing nothing.
Okay, Eamon, thank you for that. And no change either in 10th place. What a beauty, 99. Mick.
Well, they only managed 26 points this game week. They had no transfers. They opted for Trippier as their captain and got 2 points. Johnson was there with 8 points. And that pretty much is the maximum point killers on the team there. Nobody else was punching in. They had Odegaard sitting on the bench with 10 points. I suppose, look, there's not much, as Eamon would say, there's not much you can say about this other than just when you think it couldn't get any worse, they pull in 26 points. Sayonara, what a beauty, 99.
And as for the rest then, well, surprisingly enough, up to 11th from last week's 12th is Kalish Bait with 39 points, down to 12th from last week's 11th, Real No Stars with 37 points, Silverstroke is still in 13th place with 29 points, and Better Idea 22-23 still in 14th place, bottom of the table with 49 points. And that, gentlemen, that, listeners, is how things look with our managers at the moment. So look, we've chatted about teams who are most likely to go down or in danger of going down and to be relegated out of the Premier League. But what about our own league? Lads, who do you see as finishing in the top 3? I'll start with you first, Hector.
For me, it would be Kane's keeper. They hold first place at the moment and have been holding on to it. And I think they will just maybe do enough. Now, I say they're under pressure, but I think they will just do enough to hold it. And second, to beat the Taiega. They have put in a very good season together and it'll be very close. I think maybe it could be 3-4 points behind first place. And in third place, well, I think it's going to be the good, the bad, and the goalie. They play a wild card this week and it pay off for rest of the season.
All right, okay. So that's Kane's the keeper, Taiega, and the good, the bad, and the goalie. And you're not advocating now Lafayette Lions could hold third. I mean, during our table run here, this came up as a discussion point.
Oh yeah, look, I say the whole third at the moment, yeah, looking good. Can they hold it though? I mean, the good, the bad, and the goalie have the experience.
Okay, it's going to come down to experience.
That's right.
Eamon, what's your thinking on this?
I actually think that Taiega could take first place. And I think they could take it possibly in game week 36 or 37 and just snatch this at the last moment from Kane's the keeper. They've been chipping away. And as Hector said earlier on, Kane's the keeper, a little bit inconsistent. They haven't been able to pull away from Taiega. That's the thing here. That lead is being ate into. It's a matter of like the game weeks are running out. The lead is running out. If Taiega take it, then Kane's the keeper is going to finish in second place. And I'm going out on a limb here. I know they've had slippage this week. They just about hit the average point, but I think the spoofer could do it and take third spot.
Okay, that's very interesting. And Mick, finally, your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm going to go with Kane's the keeper to hold on to first place. I think that they're going to do what they have to do, and Taiega will just be in second place. Like Hector says, it's going to be very close. And then I think that Lafayette Lions will actually hold on to third place. And I think the good, the bad, and the goalie is going to be in fourth place, just a couple of points off third place. It's going to be very close there as well, I think.
Right, now that's certainly a very thinking about our top 3 here, and thank you for that. I mean, it's interesting, and we won't have too long to wait until we find out who are the top 3. Now, Eamon.
Yes, you are looking for advice, are you?
Well, actually, I'm wondering, is there Eamon's tackles from you this week? Especially since we had the boy racer crashing into the ditch on last week's show.
I do apologise to our listeners, and with all of this lovely weather, I just relaxed so much that I found I had nothing to tackle. Nothing was taxing my brain there, and I just relaxed. If you want Eamon's tackle before the season finishes, by all means, I will come to good.
Okay, well, Jack, we'll leave it up to yourself, okay? Something might happen this week that might rattle you.
And I certainly hope not. I'm looking for a quite number of days, just relax. I have a few books to read at the moment there.
Fair enough. Well, I guess it's over to you, so Hector.
Oh yes, thank you very much. Now, a piece of paper. Eamon, you give me a little bit of room there.
How much room do you want?
Just wanted to have my piece of paper here. Sorry about that. Now, listeners, you are most welcome to Hector's Hellos. And this week, I give out a big shout out to our listeners in Frankfurt on Main, in Germany, Nixa in Missouri, Los Angeles, the listeners in Boston, over in Florida, in Sweden, and we have our listeners in Paris, Naples. We also have some listeners in Malta, a very nice place. I have never been to it, but I hear it's nice to visit. Our listeners are in Prague, in Spain. We have listeners in London, Newcastle, in Birmingham. Hello to our listeners in the Faroe Islands. We have listeners in Aberdeen, And this place called, I think I pronounced it right, Stornoway. I pronounced it right there? Yeah, that's it. Our listeners in Australia, India, hello to our listeners in Iran. We have our listeners in Dublin, Galway, Monaghan, and Cavan, Kerry. We have listeners in Cork, Longford, over in Mayo, Sligo, over in Clare. Our listeners in Brazil. Hi, Mom. Hope you're having a good day. Our listeners in Argentina, Mexico, and Peru.
Thank you very much for that, Hector, and thank you to all our listeners in those locations for tuning in to us. Okay, lads, I think that's about it. Nobody else have anything to say? No other topics at the moment?
No, nothing from me at the moment. I'm all good. I don't know if Hector is going to be staring into his crystal ball or anything like that. Maybe he might have something.
Hey, what are you on about this?
You brought it up.
You know something? I'm glad to be back on the show. But the one thing I missed, or should I say I didn't miss, is that bit of needling that goes on between these two here. I listen to the show and I just think to myself, wow, why don't us just give it a break sometimes?
Well, my job here is to talk football. I'm not into crystallizing balls or looking into the future or anything like that there, okay? So, Mick, if Hector wants to come out with something like that, of course I'm going to pull him up. But if you came out with something like that...
Well, I wouldn't come out with that in the first place. You know that, Eamon.
Yes, I know that. But I'm just saying, if you came out with something like that, you'd want me to try and, correct things.
I don't know what you were correcting. He just said, he mentioned crystal balls. That was it. You just gone off on one and we're still on about it.
Okay, well, I think we'll put the crystal ball away and we'll put the topic to bed. Mick, thank you again. Very welcome back.
Thank you.
You will be back next week, will you?
Yeah, I will be back. Yeah, I'll be back every week, till the end of the season.
Great stuff. Good. Hector, you'll be back?
Yes, I will be back, yes.
Eamon, you will also be back with us?
Yes, I'll be back also, and I look forward to the final few game weeks.
Lads, thank you. Pleasure as always to have you on the show. And listeners, once again, thank you for joining us, for subscribing and listening. We hope you've enjoyed this show, and we hope you've enjoyed all the shows over this season. All that remains for me to say is that I hope you remain well wherever you are in the world, that you enjoy the next couple of days, and that you have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a good night. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. We'll be back. Slán.